one of my first big failures came when I entered high school. I think when we enter high school, we're around, more opportunity for peer pressure to make wrong decisions. And that's what happened in my life. I always say associations, everything. I started hanging out with, guys doing drugs and doing, things that they shouldn't be doing, breaking the law. So basically, I was becoming a teen drug addict at 16 years old. And to put that in perspective for you, I'm not just talking about a little marijuana here and there. I've done every single drug besides heroin. That's the life I started to enter. Robberies, getting arrested, cocaine almost every day, getting suspended every other week. My best sport growing up was baseball. People that were close to me knew that baseball was my best sport and that I probably could get drafted out of high school. Well, 2 months later, I ended up getting kicked off the baseball team because I stole one of my teammates' wallets. You see what a dark place I was in. And, my epiphany came one night after I went to an outpatient rehab facility. I missed school for about a month. This was my only way to stay in school. This was my only way really to keep living. My guidance counselor told me I'd be in prison or dead by my 18th birthday. I went in the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror, and I hated what I saw. I saw a monster. I saw anger. I saw disgust. I just hated what I saw. I started to realize, all the terrible things that I've done in this world, all the people that I've hurt, all the drugs that I've done. I got in a fight with my father before I broke both of his ribs. My mother has seen me do cocaine personally. All the stuff that I've hurt the people that love me most through. I started to see that. Those memories started to play through my mind. And I go into my room and I really just cry out to God. And that's when I really get deep into my faith. That was all I had left at that time. As I talk about, a lot, faith is a miracle. You're not going to get a miracle overnight. But what will happen is you'll get clarity and peace of mind and direction. And that night when I asked, what can I do to get out of this dark place? What can I do to pay back those people that I hurt most? And athletics came to mind. That's how I could pay back my mother and father. That's how I could pay back my grandparents that I nearly killed from all the stress I put them through. I mean, I think when you're, grown parents have, cried to you almost every night for the past 2 years. And, you've seen your grandparents who were like parents as well in your life almost completely die from everything that you've done, all the stress and how pain you put them through. Goals keep change our lives. The goals to take it to the next level. And we all hear about goals and how important they are, but once we fully know how to set goals the proper and correct way, and once we know how to carry out and, make definite plans to achieve those goals, our lives will never be the same again. And I learned this at 17 years old. I wrote a goal. Next year, I will have a Division I scholarship. I didn't say get a Division I scholarship. I said I will have a Division I scholarship. Next day, I go into school. Everyone still thought I was drunk. Everyone still thought I was high. Because I was going in there saying, hey, I'm getting a Division I scholarship. I'm going to Tennessee, to Alabama. I already had schools made up in my mind. No one believed me. Everyone doubted me. That's when I devoted 7 days a week. My parents helped me out. They hired a speed coach. I had to get faster. They hired a strength coach. I had to get stronger. For 7 hours on the weekend, I devoted every ounce of effort. I researched schools that I had to, get in contact with, coaches, phone numbers, emails. Long story short, after so much blood, sweat, and tears, nights that I almost cried just because I wanted it so bad, I ended up with 19 Division I scholarship offers a year later. I'm a Chicago Bear, hometown kid playing for the hometown team. Kind of a Cinderella story. Everyone in my community kind of broke the story, and now everyone's out rooting for me. Playing the San Diego Chargers on a beautiful Saturday evening out in sunny San Diego, California. Second quarter, a big 320-pound lineman comes crashing down on my ankle. With all the adrenaline and everything built up in a first NFL game, I said, okay, I might have sprained my ankle. Well, the following day when I wake up, I continued to play throughout that game. I had a great game, actually. Even though I had a missed back opportunity, it was still a pretty good game for me, the rookie, my first outing. But the next day, when I get out of bed, I completely collapse. And I realized, oh no, this can't be good. Because I know that NFL's first thing, the big business, big money business, and decisions have to be made. I knew, hey, I'm out for 9 months. I still remember sitting down with my head down. The doctor walked in and said, Matt, you won't be stepping on a football field anytime soon. I said, what do you mean, Doc? He says, Matt, you completely tore a bone off your ankle. You continuing to play in that game hurt your ankle even more than what it was. Even though as an athlete, you can't control injuries, I felt that was the biggest failure. I always say I personally believe in my personal story is that athletics is the greatest teacher of all. And, even if they weren't an athlete, obviously they're not going to be an athlete, 5 or 10 years from now. And maybe even that they might have a son or a daughter that, might be at the age that they want to go into athletics. And my hope is that one day they get to experience truly one of the greatest teachers of all of life, what it teaches about ourselves and our characteristics and the daily disciplines in order to be successful. Athletics is just unbelievable in that respect. Look, I see 100% resemblance between the top athletes, between the top executives. And not only that, and from an individual standpoint, from a collective team standpoint, the top performing corporations compared to the top performing teams in athletics. Vision, first and foremost. I mean, I think, as a football team, you walk in the beginning of the season, there camp, you have one goal to win the Super Bowl. Every single team meeting that you have, you revisit that subject. And not only that, you know exactly what you have to do in order to get to that big show. You know what you have to do day in, day out. Everything is scripted. You have a set routine, set schedule. The same thing is transferred over in the business arena. You have one goal, your one mission, one vision. Be 5, 10, even 5, 10 years from now in the business world. But every single day, everybody has to be bought into that vision. Every single employee. Number one, just know that you're extraordinary. I think so many times when we've been hit repeatedly over in life, day in and day out, we forget how powerful we are. We forget that, hey, we truly are extraordinary. We come from an extraordinary God. And I think once we can first realize that aspect, we're destined for greatness. No matter how dark times may be throughout life, if we just continually move forward, find ways to better ourselves day in and day out, work to become the best version of ourselves, we will get there. It's just a matter of time.
If you enjoy this podcast, please make sure to subscribe. And to stay updated on everything that the Action Catalyst is up to, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Action Catalyst Podcast and on Twitter at Catalyst_Action. And thanks for listening.